Hey, Puppy Trades! I wanted to do a video analysis update mostly of Marathon Patent Group, but I had a really interesting prediction come true today. You see, I kind of challenged myself. I said, you know what? Every time I predict a stock is going to go up, in hindsight, by the time the stock has rallied, right, you go from this extremely negative phase UFOs are stupid. This is so dumb. Retail, small cap, rates are going to destroy this, whatever, right? We go from this extreme bearishness to all of a sudden bullishness. So I was like, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell people, I'm going to tell people not just what the price is going to do, I'm going to tell people the fundamental explanation. And I told people that we were going to hear about aliens and that they were going to come out. I said this over a year ago. Over a year ago, I came out. This isn't it. My bad. We'll get into that. I came out over a year ago and I said when UFO rallies, my projections on UFO were right here. They based on unusual options activity. But I came out and I said their next big thing is going to be these aliens. These aliens. And I came out and I said in April, I said when UFO rallies, and I repeated this numerous times, I said when UFO rallies, you are going to see that they're going to be telling you that aliens are in fact real. The fact checkers are going to come out. It's no longer just going to be evidence, no longer just going to be it was on a Ring camera. But read it and weep. UFO closed up almost 4% today, and it has a good reason. Congress heard more testimony about UFOs. Here are the biggest revelations. On Wednesday, here are the biggest revelations. Interesting. On Wednesday, a new slate of witnesses provided fresh testimony to Congress on UFO sightings and what the government may or may not know about them. Yep, there we go. That's a UFO. That's definitely not a government spacecraft, which they actually clarified. The government didn't make these. That was very nice of them because everyone was wondering, right? The question of whether intelligent alien life is visiting us here on Earth and whether the government is covering it up is no longer a topic reserved solely for conspiracy theorists to debate. Congressional leaders continue to pay serious heed to the possibility that not only are unexplained objects violating U.S. airspace, but that the military has spent decades covertly recovering the craft to bolster its own technology. Wow. And you can get into, you can read more of that if you'd like. But look at this. Man, it's almost like I told you exactly what the stock was going to do, exactly what the ETF was going to do. And then I made it, because you don't get bonus points for it. Like my broker isn't going to give me bonus points and say, oh, you knew it was going to be the aliens. I thought it was going to be Boeing. By the way, those are going to be related too. Interesting. Wave 1, Wave A, B, C, Wave 2, Wave B. It looks like we have more encounters coming, more strange encounters until UFO is in the low 30s. Let's talk about, our other news story. No, let's get into Marathon Patent Group actually. Marathon Patent Group, I believe it's setting a bear trap. We look at the long-term count of Marathon Patent Group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Large wave 1, wave A. Wave 2, wave B. What is Marathon Patent Group? To those who may not know, Marathon Digital Holdings is a digital asset technology company that mines cryptocurrencies with a focus on the blockchain ecosystem and the generation of digital assets. So it's based in Las Vegas. We're going to see annual income is positive, which a lot of these mining stocks, they aren't. Their most recent earnings was negative, trading above the book value. Interest coverage ratio, extremely high. We see a lot of these Bitcoin mining stocks. These numbers do not look like this at all. Certainly not the one I'm in, Canaan Creative, ticker CAN. Institutional shareholders, 44%. That's pretty unremarkable. 67% profit margin, 27 interest coverage ratio. Very, very impressive. So we're going to get into the stock price. It's down 14%. Oh, man. And I'm just going to casually make a video about how this is a bear trap. I think it's a bear trap. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to get into some corollary evidence. Of course, correlation analysis killed the cat in trading, not curiosity. But we are going to see this is Bitcoin, right? It's crypto, so kind of is related. 1, 2, big wave 3, highest high made on the RSI within wave 3, wave 4 correction, and a wave 5 that ends with momentum divergence, very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Notice the impulse is even cleaner on the RSI than price. It's all about the RSI. I'm telling you, that's really where wave theory starts to become a science instead of woo woo. Let's look at this right here. I got the RSI charted up and marked up. 1, 2, wave 3, highest high, wave 4, and the wave 5. Now, I know someone just came out and said, hey, puppy trades, wave 4 can't retest the wave 1 high. You're a fool. Okay. Well, you actually need to, know the rules. In Elliott wave theory, if it's a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal, wave 4 can break and is expected to break, actually, the wave 1 high. So it's still all about this RSI here. Very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that's a pretty clear trend lines for the leading diagonal. Wave 1, wave A. Wave 2, wave B. And then from this low, I'm looking for a small wave 1 and wave 2 to be valid above 15.31. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low gives a target of roughly the low 40s. So we can see why the institutions would be trying to get all of the retail traders out of Marathon Patent Group and have this big gap, which is customary of a wave 3. We'll see how this weekly candle ends. We got 2 more days left in this week. It's going to be interesting to see if this remains a doji like this. That is also going to be something that I'll look at. But this is a wave 1, wave A, wave 2, wave B, and now we're starting to gap into wave 3, wave C. Everyone's forgetting that because it's 14% down today. I believe this is a bear trap, though, and that we're going to see Marathon Patent Group hold above 15.31 and head into the low 40s before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. That is plenty of Marathon Patent Group analysis for now, but Marathon Patent Group can really start running. And we look at this sector. This sector, a lot of people don't realize, this sector has had some big leaders, huge leaders in this sector. One of them was TerraWolf, which I completely smoked out of the park. And then the other one was, I believe, BitDeer. BitDeer, I found them literally the only time I talked about BitDeer. Only time I ever heard of BitDeer was on the screens I talk about, and I said this is a large wave 1, wave 2. This is important correlation analysis for Marathon Patent Group 1, 2, big wave 3. I came out, I really pointed out this RSI. I talked about how beautiful it was. Shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 that ends with momentum divergence. Yes, you can finish my sentences, but you can't finish my sandwiches. This is a wave 1, wave A, a wave 2, wave B, and bang, that's a wave 3, wave C. Perfect hit. I mean, just drawing the market like it's obeying my commands. I promise it isn't. I promise the market isn't obeying my commands. But eventually, after this wave 4 correction ends, or eventually what's expected to happen from a correlation standpoint is BitDeer has broken this high. From an Elliott wave perspective, that means that it is incomplete to the upside. We can talk about why for a few reasons, but mostly this is wave 1, wave 2. It's certainly within wave 3 before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. So if wave 4 retests the wave 1 high, wave 5 is the length of wave 1, places the wave 4 low. BitDeer is heading to 20.43. It's currently at 10. So BitDeer is going to double. Marathon Patent Group is probably not going to crash. And BitDeer going up to 20 only ends that red wave 3 before a red wave 4 and a red wave 5 higher. That's all just correlation analysis. Bit Digital, another one. Bang! I like that. I hope you guys like that. Wave 1, wave 2, big wave 3, and a wave 4. Look at that. I mean, do I even need to say it at this point? Yeah, the wave 3 makes the highest high on the RSI. There's a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 that ends with momentum divergence. I came out, perfectly drew this, and now just like BitDeer, we've broken this wave 1 high, confirmed within a wave 3 up into the 6.5 area before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. Realistically, Bit Digital can go higher than that. I'm expecting that 61.8% extension is going to line up perfectly. It always does right there. That's the real target for wave 3, that little box. I'll make my rectangle. That's the real wave 3 target right up there. So Bit Digital is going to 7.93 to 8.20. Marathon Patent Group probably won't crash during that time. That would be followed by a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. Again, this is all just correlation analysis. I certainly can't tell my broker about correlation analysis. BITO, Bitcoin, definitely the most dangerous correlate for the crypto mining sector. We learned that today. Everyone should know that by now. But this is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gorgeous wave 1, wave A, ABC, wave 2, wave B. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Bitcoin the market sees Bitcoin as a commodity. So to the inflation perspective, I'm going to say that actually is how the market sees Bitcoin, because from an Elliott wave perspective, wave 5 is the biggest wave in the sequence. And that's only supposed to happen within a commodities market, per the rules of Elliott wave theory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, wave A, ABC, wave 2, wave B, at the 61.8% retracement. Someone said I wasn't speaking English. I think I'm speaking English now. BITO looks like it's on its way to 40. I own it. I own it from here. I've collected dividends the entire time. I didn't even expect to get juicy dividends. Speaking of juicy dividends and front month futures, I know this isn't correlated with Marathon Patent Group necessarily, but Ether, geez. Ether, looking at this untouched chart of Ether, it looks just like Marathon Patent Group. Wave 1, wave A, ABC, wave 2, wave B. Looks like wave 3 of wave C is in progress for EETH. I chart Ethereum almost every day. BITX looks like it's within clearly a wave 3. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. Says it's silly to short before 69 on this Elliott wave time frame. Obviously BITX can go down and up and randomly between then, but it looks like BITX is incomplete until 69. It's currently at 54, and that's a minimum wave 3 target. Again, unlikely Marathon Patent Group would crash during this time, but oh my goodness, man, Ripple. I've tweeted about how important this Ripple ETF is. Come on, Larry, this isn't funny. Where's the Ripple ETF? Revelation of the method. They have to tell us. And just look at that. If you think that's all silly, where did we get finally retail can access Robinhood? Where did we finally get that retail can access Ripple on Robinhood? Right here, right before it explodes, right before it goes to freaking Van Halen. It's going to Van Halen. It's not even going to Valhalla. It's going to Van Halen, okay? It's going to Van Halen. And where did we get the Ripple ETF? Where did we get retail able to access Ripple on Robinhood? It looks like they gave it to retail, or they certainly gave it to me. I bought this. I have an average cost of 0.745. It looks like they weren't going to let Ripple run and have the retail traders be able to say, hey, they didn't let us into Ripple. Unfair. No, they let retail into Ripple. They didn't give him much time, but they let him in. Thank you.